गुड आफ्टरनून फ्रेंड्स। आज वाकई में थोड़ा सा मेरे लिए भी काफ़ी ख़ास दिन है। यूनिक टॉपिक आई एम गोइंग टू स्पीक। ये मेरे दोस्तों ने मुझे आज कहा कि यू हैव स्पोकन ऑलमोस्ट ऑन एवरी टॉपिक, बट वी वांट यू टू स्पीक ऑन अ टॉपिक एंड सी हाउ ब्रेव यू आर। बट दिस इज वन सब्जेक्ट everybody knows, everybody is interested. It is deeply ingrained in us, but nobody talks about it. The society we live in, the environment we are brought up, it does not permit, it does not allow to talk on at least this topic so freely. So, my friend, today I'm going to talk on sex and its importance. Before I start saying something, I will like to just tell you that on this topic, sex, जिसे काम कहते हैं, उर्दू में जिनसी नफ्सियात कहते हैं, इस मौजू के ऊपर हम सब का अप्रोच ख़ास तौर से द ओरिएंटल वर्ल्ड, ईस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में, या समझ लीजिए हमारे मुल्क में, इस पार्ट ऑफ द ग्लोब में, उसको कहते हैं वी हैव एन ऑस्ट्रिच अप्रोच। एन ऑस्ट्रिच अप्रोच अंग्रेजी में इसका मतलब शुतुरमुर्ग अप्रोच कह लीजिए। ऑस्ट्रिच अप्रोच जैसे तूफान आता है तो फौरन वो उससे समझते वो किसी छोटे से बरो किसी छेद में अपना मुंह डाल देता है, और वो आंखें बंद कर लेता है। वो समझता है कि तूफान गुजर गया और पूरी उसकी बॉडी बाहर होती है। तो हम सब का नज़रिया भी इसी, हम समझते हैं कि हम अच्छी बातें करके और इसको सप्रेस करके मसले को सॉल्व कर दें, बिल्कुल नामुमकिन है। इट रिमेन्स। माई फ्रेंड, आई हैव रिटन, आई हैव ऑथर्ड अ बुक, यू ऑल नो इट। लास्ट ईयर इट वॉज पब्लिश्ड वर्ल्ड वाइड and the topic was pleasure woman. The life of Indian sex workers. मेरी PhD थी HIV AIDS in Indian Armed Forces. So in my search for, look for HIV positive women and other people related to my topic, I interviewed more than 5,000 women sex workers across the country in many states, and the book really did pretty well. तो बड़ा यूनिक एक्सपीरियंस हुआ मुझे कि none of the women, all those 5,000 ladies sex workers I interviewed, none of the women, single woman, literate, illiterate, from various regions, various language, color, caste, creed, talk to me about sex. All of them liberation. Sorry, there was a call about that. And I have spoken to many people, very enlightened people, very great people, learned people, many friends. Howsoever outward attire and image they have of a very great, pious, saintly people, ultimately they did talk to me in great length about sex. This proves one point, that in our deepest memory, in our deepest corner of the heart, this subject remains alive with everyone, because we all are suppressing talking about this or forget about even understanding clearly. I will quote two great people. One, you all know it, the greatest psychologist of the world, Sigmund Freud. And if you get this ever, you lay hands on two reports, Fahrenheit reports on human sexuality of men and women both. Both of them are convinced that you interview thousands, billions of people across the world in any part of the planet, to common people, they will not be much inquisitive about any religion, anything, any sect, any custom. They will definitely know and will be inquisitive about talking about sex because it is deeply ingrained in everyone's heart and mind. So, my friend, I said my topic today is the sex and its importance. Now, there is a slight difference has come in the previous generation people and the present generation people. See, the young people of today are very different in many ways from the young people of earlier generations. Simple, why? Information explosion. They are better informed on almost every subject, and that includes sex too. And similarly, यही corollary आप दूसरी तरफ देखें, and even the elder people of the present generations are much more informed and much more mature than the elder people of earlier generation. You see, there is a flood of information on everything. Every child is moving with the mobile and they can have any information they want. But the point is, when you have the information flooded to you, so I feel it is in army they say, when we want to, you read World War II history, it's very clear. Or in any army operation, if suppose we want to attack a particular place, we will attack in such a widest front and make activity all over across the border, in the widest front. No, enemy will keep guessing where the hell is going to come in. And at the point of action, we will muster everything and just peer attack. Same thing happened in World War II, whether Pas de Calais or Normandy or wherever, the Allied forces, they had activity all over. Deception, decoys, false convoys moving, false bombardment take place, and then Normandy, one. So now, it's this flood of information, it confuses. And we have staying in the world today where this excess information is actually leaving everyone's confused. There is no magazine, my friend. There is no art or show without any sexual suggestion you tried. You just walk out into any street of your city or your town, wherever you're staying. There's plenty of billboards and hoardings all over. Just putting a BMW's hoarding and you find a vehicle and a lady standing with a bikini and a bra. What is this here? Everywhere there's so much of sexual suggestions. You just cannot avoid it. You just got to see it. Now, when you do that, you're struck with a dilemma. If you enjoy, you wonder if you are some kind of a sex pervert, or if you look away, then you accuse yourself of being a bloody prude. Most of our ideas, my friends, one thing you must understand, as regard in our country, it is saying, all our perception, beliefs, attitudes and ideas on sex, most of them we pick up from the society we live in or the environment we have grown up. They are seldom your own personal. All of them. And let me tell you, all these perceptions, the society's perception or the environment we grow in, they are ultimately all negative. And they are very extreme because they are all suppressive. And this extreme prudishness, my friend, it behaves, that behaves like sexual gratification for its own sake, to be Allah, to be all and end all of all existence. Incorrect. Indeed, sex is glorified to such an extent that it is even made to appear the most important, or rather the only thing in the married life or in life. And never, I think, both these extreme ideas are incorrect. Even the God would have intended the marriage to have only sexual purpose. My friend, God has created, like anything, the ultimate desire to let this progeny continue And this is the process for continuation. You can imagine the kind of energy, sexual energy, can one small atom can bloody devastate and blow up the entire Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And this impulse, the nature's greatest impulse, the sexual energy, what every man carries in a small ionic, the small, this thing, one can have far too many, everybody, we are born out of that. Every drop can have a Gandhi, every drop can have an Einstein, or the greatest player or greatest creator of the world has ever produced. So one has to, because when we see a large percentage of society has begun to accept certain ideas, and those very ideas, no matter how wrong and against all values, they might be gradually begin to seem okay. We start believing whatever have been told, whatever see, what is happening in the society, or whatever must be true, and we start believing and behaving accordingly. Therefore, my friend, one is well grounded in right values, and especially in the meaning and purpose of sex. It is difficult to live in today's society and keep intact one's ideas on what is moral and what is not. Then, my friend, well, what are these values and what should be your attitude toward this sex? This is the thing which matters. Sex, as we all know, is part of God's design for human life, I say. Intended for nothing but propagation. I said continuing this particular species progeny. No, propagation of the human race. In our case, like any creation of the God, they have the similar properties, trees, plants, animals. The race continues, and the method of continuing the propagation is through sex. Now, sexuality was not an accident or a result of a sin. I don't believe it. But is an essential part of our divinely created human nature. The fact that sex comes from God tells us at once of its basic goodness. It is the nature of the creation itself. Sexuality, in its broad sense, is an integral part of each person's identity. Is obviously good, but the more especially genital aspect of the sex are also equally good. The physical attraction we feel towards the opposite sex is part of our sexual nature as the nature created it, and nature wants it. There is nothing wrong with getting attracted to the opposite sex. This is the most natural instinct. As one of God's gift, however, sex is not ours to use in any way we please. That's distinguished between man and the animals, because we have the consciousness. We can have always the right way and discriminate between what is right and wrong. God has a purpose behind His creation, and He wants us to respect that purpose in the way we use His other gifts. And the part of purpose of our sexual faculties is the conception and surely birth of a child, or children. Our very bodies reveals God's purpose in this regard. The whole biological process of intercourse is to bring ovum and sperm together so that a new life begins. His gift of sex is inextricably bound up with the creation of a new life. This is why all religions expressly condemn sexual practices like homosexuality, which go against the procreative purpose of the sex. And sex is also sacred, since it is something that should take place only and only in marriage. This was how it was intended from the beginning of civilization. But sexual energy is a kind of energy, you must understand. There was a time When there was a lightning, लोग बिजली चमकी, लोग डर जाते थे, कहीं गिरी, वहाँ शायद कुछ जहाँ गिरी वहाँ आग लग गई जंगल में, या कोई जानवर मर गए या इंसान मर गए, that's it. So people were scared of lightning, so scared. और just come आज की दुनिया में आप आइए, वो बिजली हमारी दोस्त है. आज की जिंदगी बिना बिजली के मुमकिन ही नहीं. आपका खाना बनना इलेक्ट्रिकल ओवन में, रेफ्रिजरेटर है, चार्जिंग है, एयर कंडीशनर. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ अ लाइफ विदाउट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. वही बिजली जिससे लोग किसी जमाने में खौफजदा होते थे, नाउ दैट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज द बेस्ट फ्रेंड ऑफ द ह्यूमन बीइंग्स. सेम गोज फॉर द सेक्सुअल एनर्जी. इट इज मच बिगर, much potent than the lightning effect I just explained. Make friend with it. Learn to use it creatively. Learn to diversify this sexual energy into more creative things. And you can. This is how it was intended from the beginning of civilization. All cultures and religions have always looked upon adultery as a heinous crime, ranked next to murder. In today's world, moreover, permissive attitudes towards sex are rebounding on themselves. We have a score of diseases earlier, STDs and AIDS, all have been controlled and almost eradicated. My friend, ultimately I will say that sex is a tremendous energy. Sex is a nature's gift to the children of the creation, not only for procreation, but to build a real love between us, called husband and wife, to strengthen, to refresh, to comfort, besides satisfying your sexual desires. It expresses in vivid physical terms the self-surrender, profound intimacy, and total union and trust that belongs to marriage covenant. It is this act above that establishes the bond of a family between husband and wife. Most civil and religious authorities will not even recognize a marriage unless it has been sexually consummated. My friend, finally, it is good to remember that sex is only one aspect of married life. It is important, no doubt, but it is not the focus of the whole relationship. Absolutely not. Besides the sexual relationship, married happiness, you see, it depends upon the couple's commitment to love and cherish and respect each other in every part of their life together. Thank you very much.